You're listening to the Getting Into Alignment podcast with your host, Alexa Ray Smith. I am an energetic mentor for women in life and biz. I am here to help you energetically align with all of your desires. I help you do this by reprogramming your subconscious mind, manifesting your dreams, and quantum leaping your success. Each episode is going to be a coaching moment filled with life-changing information, tools, and concepts, activating you to create the most out of this world life. This podcast is for the woman who is ready to have it all. The woman who wants to create a limitless life on her own terms. The woman who wants to build an empire, have spiritual wealth, and abundance in all areas of her life. It's time to raise your standards and elevate your frequency because your dream life is ready to be claimed. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Alexa Ray Smith. If you are new here, I am an energetic mentor. I really coach on, and you'll hear me talk about on this podcast, mindset, energetics, embodiment, quantum physics, manifestation, human design, all of the things. I'm a manifesting generator in human design, so I am multi-passionate and I really love weaving together all of the information that has really helped me transform my life, because if it helped me, it has to be able to help you too. And I really want us as a collective to live in a better world, to experience more love, more abundance, more happiness, and less of all of the fear and the lack and the scarcity. So today I was working on my newest manifestation course, which is, oh my God, it's so good. Like literally the magic that is channeling through me, I'm in disbelief. Like what is coming through today and what I have channeled for the first teaching in Alchemy of Manifestation. Oh my God, like it's literally going to change your life. I can't. There are so many years worth of information that is interwoven in this that I'm like, damn, this needs to get out there to everyone. This is not just a program. This is everything you've ever needed to be able to manifest anything you've ever desired. I am so confident in that because this is 7 years worth of me learning manifestation, from the science behind it to the alchemy behind it, to the faith that's required within it, to the quantum physics, to, all of the different moving pieces. This is a culmination of so many years of work. And not only that, but I've put it all into practice, right? Like, I know what actually sticks. I know what lands. And I've learned from so many different people now. I also know what isn't accurate and why a lot of people are struggling with manifestation. And I also have my own life experience from what I struggled with in manifestation. And I was talking about this in my class, like while I was writing the notes, and I was like, oh, I think I need to record a whole podcast episode on this. So today I want to talk to you about one of the things that I struggled with the most in manifestation, and I find that most other people are struggling with the most as well. And that is unplugging from your manifestation, unplugging from your power. What ends up happening is we have been taught that in order to feel something, we have to have something. So it constantly has us in this vicious cycle where we feel lack, so we're trying to do something to fill that void of lack that we feel inside of us. Now, first of all, the lack is only created because we were taught so wrong about absolutely everything, from our power to the way the universe works, to how life has to go for us, to literally everything. But what ends up happening is, because we feel like we have this void, we have to do all of these things to try and feel better. And that's why a lot of people are miserable, right? Because they're already not feeling good. And then they're doing all of this hard work and taking all of this action while not feeling good. And then now, not only do they not feel good, but they're burnt out and stressed and nothing it seems to be working. So they're like, what the freak? Like, what is going on? So, that is what is circumstantial power. When you are operating from this do to get mentality, and when you are outsourcing your power to other things. So, you're basically allowing the external world to control how you feel. And it also dictates how you feel, it dictates your moods, it dictates the reality that you're living in. When we start to understand manifestation, though, we realize how ass backwards that truly is. Because you start to realize and understand that your current reality is based off of your past feelings, thoughts, and vibrations. So, if you keep focusing on what's currently happening and allowing it to take your power away and making you feel worse, vibrate at a lower level, and think thoughts that are lower vibrational, then you're only creating this in your future. So the only thing then is to, in each moment, ground into your power and realize that if you are attracting by what you are and who you are being, then you need to hold your power and hold it strong and not allow it to be swayed by what's happening in your world. Because when you can anchor into that power, when you can anchor in to what you know you want, what you are manifesting, knowing it's coming true, and staying energetically aligned with that it is happening, then you start creating a new reality. You start standing in your personal power because you aren't outsourcing it anymore. You're not letting circumstances dictate your power. You're deciding your power and you're holding that power strong. So in terms of manifestation, what that looks like is you decide what you want and then you energetically align with it. You get your thoughts and your beliefs behind it to back it. So because you have your thoughts and beliefs in alignment and you're energetically vibrating with the idea of having the thing, feeling into having it, expecting it to come to you, you then have to hold that expectation. You have to hold that belief. You have to stop looking outside of you for evidence that it's true, and you need to know that it's true in every fiber of your being. Because if you know that it's true, it doesn't matter if it looks like it's not working. It doesn't matter what's actually happening because you are deciding what is going to happen. And this is where most people drop the ball. And I did too for so long, right? Because you could feel into the thing, or I could feel into the thing that I wanted, but then it didn't come. And then there was so much evidence that it wasn't coming that I was like, this isn't working. And I would go curl up in a ball on the couch and binge Netflix because I just put all of this effort into believing that something was going to happen and all of this energy to back it. And then it didn't happen. So I just completely unplugged myself from my power, from the vortex, from everything that told me I could have more than my current reality. I went back to my current reality and just accepted in defeat that this is all it could be. And this is what most people do. They don't learn to have a really strong foundation to support them in manifestation, which means you have to be able to be energetically aligned. You need to have a mindset to support it. And you also need to be taking action from the belief and the expectation that it's already happening. And knowing and trusting that when it looks like it isn't working, you still believe. When it looks like it isn't working, you still trust. When it looks like it isn't working, you hold your power. Instead of unplugging, instead of feeling defeated and feeling hopeless and feeling depressed and feeling anxious, which really just takes you out of the vibration of ever getting that manifestation that you want. You instead expand your energy. You expand your capacity to think of what's possible for you. You allow yourself to feel into the feelings of having it, so much so that it doesn't matter that your eyes can't see it yet, because you're feeling it. You feel it in your body, and you know with every fiber of your being that it is happening. It is happening for you. You have to stop unplugging as soon as it looks like it isn't working out, because manifestation doesn't happen right away, especially if you don't fully believe it. Especially if you don't fully expect it, especially if you don't fully have faith in it. And that's what happens. We don't fully have faith. We don't fully expect it. We don't fully commit. And then it takes time. And in that process of the time where we are really just trying to calibrate to our belief that it can happen, we drop the ball and we just completely unplug instead of looking at our feelings, our thoughts, our expectations, and say, okay, so I'm saying I want to manifest this. Am I still in alignment with it? Do I still believe it's happening? Do I still trust it can happen? Do I still have faith? Am I taking aligned action to make it possible? Because if you're not doing any of those things and you're just deciding it's not working out, well, guess what? Your beliefs create your reality. So if you decide that it's not working, then it's not working. But here is the thing. You have to learn to be able to show up consistently for your life, for your dreams, for your manifestations, no matter what. No matter what means that you're willing to show up and take messy action because it's aligned with the manifestation and the life that you want to live. You have to be able to sound like a crazy lady because most people in your world don't understand what you're teaching, but you know that it's truth and you know that it's going to change so many people's lives. So you keep speaking, you keep creating, you keep showing up no matter what, even when it looks like nobody's liking, even when it looks like nobody's reaching out to work with you, even when it looks like your social media following isn't growing, even when it looks like your bank account isn't growing, even when it looks like your love life isn't getting better, even when it looks like your health isn't improving. It does not matter what is happening in your reality. What matters is what you believe is happening in your reality and the meaning you associate with the moments and the things that seem like it's not working. What meaning are you giving them when you're not getting the likes? What meaning are you giving the bank account not growing? What meaning are you giving the lack of social engagement? What meaning are you giving to the lack of relationships in your love life? What is the meaning? Because when we can get clear on the meaning that we are associating, that helps us to get back into alignment, because often the meaning is based on a belief that we haven't worked through. And now we are going to be going so deeply into this in Alchemy of Manifestation. And I truly couldn't even cover it in one podcast episode because this is so in depth. Like, this is why this is a 3-month program. This is why there are weekly calls, because in order for you to understand the energetics behind it, in order for you to understand the principles behind manifestation, the universal laws, the embodiment aspect, the mindset piece, everything that really goes into rewiring your mind and regulating your nervous system. Like, it's not just one thing. All of these things help. Like, they're all tools in your toolbox, but you need them all in order to manifest and in order to make manifestation something that is a part of your life instead of something that's haphazardly happening to you. You get to take your power back and control it. But the way you do this is by staying plugged in, Because the moment you unplug, that's when you go back to the current reality as it is, as it was created by your past self. And the moment you do that, you start acting as your past self. Instead of you being and aligning with your future self to create a new reality in the future, you're going back to the 3D. Well, this is what I can see, taste, hear, feel, smell. So this has to be truth. Instead of using all of the other senses that are available to you and locking in to the power and the expansion that comes from you identifying what you want and believing it's possible for you until it shows up. Not believing it's possible once somebody buys from you, not believing it's possible once you get that date, not believing it's possible once the money's in your bank account. Because if you stay waiting for that to happen, you're never going to manifest what you want. You have to reverse engineer the way you think the world works because you've been taught incorrectly. And the people that are willing to rewire their mind to believe that the universe works in a different way because they have so much evidence to support that is truth, those are the people that are manifesting the most incredible lives. Those are the people that are flying first class and traveling the world luxuriously. Those are the people that have multi-million-dollar businesses. Those are the people that are in these dream relationships, that have these amazing families, amazing friends, amazing communities. These are the people that are living out their life purpose. And they were just years ago, just like the rest of us, realizing, wait a minute, there has to be more than this. Like, this doesn't feel good. Why do we keep operating from this way? My soul keeps saying, like, this isn't it. I'm not sure what I'm even searching for at this point, but I know this is not it. You have to be willing to be a truth seeker before you can actually apply manifestation. Because if you're still going to come at it at the way you've always been taught, you are going to be the resistance that blocks your manifestations. Nothing in the universe can block your manifestations from occurring except for you. Your beliefs, your energy, your expectation, your actions. You are the one creating this reality. But can you stay plugged into that? Can you decide what you want and no matter what is happening in your external world, stay in that conviction that it is happening, that the timeline doesn't matter because it is happening. The how doesn't matter because that's the universe's job. You don't care how it's happening. You care that it is happening. So you stay aligned with it. And here's the thing, when you stay aligned with it, even when it looks like it's not working, that power, that personal power, then that's what creates the manifestation. Like that right there, that energy, that not unplugging, that is what gets you to your manifestation faster, because there's always the reality that it won't work, right? But there's also always the reality that it will always work. You get to decide. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the person that believes it's always happening for them? Or do you want to be the person that believes it's never going to work out? Your beliefs are so deeply ingrained with the fabric of your reality that you might not even be consciously aware of how much you are creating it. But when you start rewiring your mind to start believing things that are greater than anything you've ever been told, that is how you are able to hold this power. That is how you're able to imagine these epic lives that people get to live. This is really where everything happens. When you keep holding the power, you are staying aligned with the manifestation. And because you're staying aligned with it, you are thinking and speaking things that support that manifestation to show up in your life. And because you're doing that, you will receive aligned action from the universe. When you're not taking action out of lack, but you are taking action after you've gotten into a state of believing it's all happening. And you have this opportunity with absolutely everything in your life. But I find that so many people stop believing it because they haven't mastered the art of staying plugged in. And this is something that I coach deeply on. When you get into my world, this is something that I've worked so much on. This is something that I bring up in my masterminds. Like, this is a conversation that I will have over and over and over and again, because this conversation is one of the most important conversations you could ever have. This is the most important thing that you can ever understand. That when you ground into your power, especially when it looks like it isn't working, that's what makes it work. Because you believed greater than the reality that you were living in, which means you had to be vibrating at a higher frequency, and you have to then start magnetizing a new reality to you, because you've changed your frequency, you've changed your thoughts, you've changed your feelings. You thus change the words that you speak and how you be and how you operate and how you interact with the universe. And because of that, the universe has to match you. And that means you getting to have your manifestation. That means you getting to live a whole different life, because you have changed who you are at a cellular level. You no longer allow yourself to slip back into that lower vibrational reality that you've always lived in. And instead, you have raised your energetic set point to vibrate at a higher level, and your vibration level is your attraction level. You attract what you are. So when you start vibrating higher, you start attracting the things that you really want. And once you start doing this and start feeling how good it is and starting to see how quickly things are manifesting into your life, you don't want to go back to that version of you that feels like you're so defeated you need to hide out and watch Netflix for the next 5 hours until you go to sleep because nothing is working out. You don't let yourself get there. Not saying that you don't have days where, if you intentionally want to binge out on Netflix because you've been working and living your best life and traveling and doing all of the things, like, realize the intentionality and the energy behind it. One of them, you're trying to avoid your life. The other one, you are allowing it to replenish you in your life. This all matters. So your work is to practice holding your power, to practice staying plugged in, to be mindful and be the conscious observer of when you want to unplug, and examine the thoughts that you're having, examine the feelings that you're thinking, and really get clear on yourself. Where is your energy slipping? This is an energetic wobble. When you say that you want something, but you don't actually believe it, or you start questioning it, or you start doubting it. Where are you energetically wobbling in what you want? Because the faster you can clean that up, and you can clean up the energetics behind your manifestation, the faster you can come back to being in alignment. The faster you can get plugged into that personal power where you feel so alive, where you feel like you can create anything. That invincible feeling, that feeling belongs to you always, and you can always tap into it. But you need to start learning energetic mastery. And with energetic mastery means having the mindset piece and the embodiment piece together, so that way you can keep manifesting, you can keep energetically aligning, you can keep recoding your DNA at a cellular level. So that way, every time you manifest and every time you come up to a new edge of yourself where you're manifesting something that you didn't believe was possible, or you've gotten to this new level, or whatever the case may be, you have to realize that every time that you go deeper in and you go within instead of looking without, that's when you change who you are. And because you are changing who you are, your reality changes. If you aren't changing, your reality won't change. Like, we have to break it down super simply. There's so many people trying to learn to manifest, but they just want manifestation to change their lives, and they aren't willing to do any of the uncomfortable work, any of the unsexy work. It's not sexy to spend months reprogramming your mind, but you know what is sexy? Living the next 50 years of your life like you're on vacation. So you have to ask yourself, how committed to you are your dream life? How committed to you are having these manifestations? How dedicated are you to creating a life that is out of this world amazing? Because you are the one that is creating it or blocking it. Only you. And what's so beautiful about that and is so empowering about that is that you get to take your power back, and you get to decide that you are going to be a new version of yourself now, by staying plugged in, by working on your mindset, by working on your energetics, by working on your embodiment, by working on your expectations. So if this is something that you're like, oh my God, like you totally called me out, I totally am that person that I unplug. Like, it looks like it's not working 2 days in, and then I unplug and say I was a fool. Like, it's of course not going to work. And I get it. Like, there's no shame there, but you can live a different and better life, and you can do it differently. And what I have found is most of the time, the people that go through this the worst are the ones that don't get help. They don't invest in a mentor. They don't invest in a program. They try to do it all on their own. And that's when it can be a super bumpy ride. So instead of doing it the hard way, come join us for Alchemy of Manifestation, because you will not be the same once you take this program. I have literal goosebumps in my body when I say that, and every fiber of my being believes it. I am getting changed at a cellular level just channeling this information. And this is information that I have known and been learning for years. But the way it's landing for me now, because of this energetic work that I've done, it is so powerful. It is changing me, and it will change you. And our lives are never going to be the same. And this can be the moment that you look back and say, everything changed because I invested in myself, in my dreams, and I did the work that was required to manifest a life that is just so incredible and so amazing from the inside out. So, Alchemy of Manifestation is open for enrollment. Go to my website, alexaraysmith.com/alchemy to join us. I'm so excited to have you. It's like literally the most exciting work that I've ever done in my entire life. There is going to be so much information, so many video modules that's going to cover all of the things that I've talked about and so much more. And there's going to be weekly calls. So that means live coaching. That means live training. That means an energetic infusing. That means you not unplugging because you're staying plugged in because you have someone that's keeping you accountable. There's support, there's community, there's a group. You get to speak your manifestations into existence with people that believe your manifestations are happening, and they are going to help cheer you on. So unplugging isn't an option for you. This is what you've been asking for. I know it because this is what I asked for the past 7 years. And there wasn't a single manifestation program, book, podcast, course, anything that even had an essence of this. This is everything that I wanted. And it's just the beginning. Like, you want to be along for this ride. I promise you. If you're not already following me on social media, follow me on Instagram at Alexa Ray Smith, 2 H's on there, on TikTok at Alexa Ray Smith, and I am also on YouTube. Just search for Alexa Ray Smith, and they're all linked on my website. So if you want to go to my website, and they're written in the bio, in the description box of this podcast. So let me know what landed for you. I'm so excited for this episode. Like, I know this this was for somebody, because I did not plan on recording this podcast right now. And I'm now totally running late for what I have to do later on tonight. But it was so worth it because I know somebody needed this message. So let me know if it was you.